Happening now, a woman has died in an overnight blaze, the latest from the scene. Next. Plus, an update from the COVID-19 outbreak at the Chautauqua County Jail.
Well, there's been a lot of clouds out there this morning and early this afternoon, but we may see a few peaks of sun later this afternoon, plus the weekend. Still watching it. We'll give you the details next. The news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
When I pulled up, I saw a gentleman on the front yard, frantic, screaming that she's upstairs, and I had fire pushing out of all the downstairs windows and heavy black smoke pushing out all the upstairs windows that I couldn't. The smoke had banked down to a point that I couldn't see the top of the house.
Wow.
And being the first one here, there was no means to even make an attempt to rescue. And based on my best training and knowledge, if we'd even had the people here and the resources, I may not have been able to send them in the way that the fire was.
That's Auto Fire Chief Anthony Reilly, who says a woman has died following a blaze in Cattaraugus County overnight that he says was so intense it made rescue attempts impossible. Thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Several fire departments responded to the North Auto Road home around 2:30 this morning. The Cattaraugus County Sheriff's Office Fire Investigation Team is now working to determine the cause. However, Chief Reilly says that a preliminary look points to a wood stove in the back of the house. 2 children and a man were taken to Buffalo area hospitals. Authorities have not yet identified the 3. Neighbor Edward Crawford says he's devastated to hear of the news.
It's just tough, man. Great family. Right around the holidays, it's just, you know what I mean? It's tragic. It's hard to say, but it's a lot for this little community.
Crawford says the 4 were a close family. The fire chief says the house will likely be demolished and the Red Cross will assist those who survived. A person in their 40s has died from COVID-19 in Chautauqua County. The county health department, in an update to their COVID-19 dashboard yesterday, announced the 22nd death. It's the second just this week. Additionally, 59 new cases were reported, with 9 in Jamestown. Of the 345 cases currently active, 82 are in the Jamestown area. Health leaders say there are 19 people hospitalized with a 7-day average percent positivity rate of 6.2%. Now, since the pandemic started, more than 21,000 cases have been recorded, with 17,000 plus recovering. Well, the coronavirus crisis is at a critical crossroads. Today, the FDA is meeting to determine whether the Pfizer biotech vaccine will be authorized for emergency use here in the United States. As Nadia Romero reports, the vaccine can't come soon enough.
Hospitalizations and deaths from COVID-19 soar.
We're experiencing a surge like we've never seen.
But hope may be on the horizon. Thursday, the Food and Drug Administration will consider whether the United States should grant emergency use authorization to a COVID-19 vaccine.
I'm very excited about the results.
The vaccine from Pfizer and BioNTech is approved in Canada and the United Kingdom, with people in Great Britain already receiving vaccinations.
It's a quick, painless jab, doesn't take long.
But after 2 healthcare workers experienced an allergic reaction, UK health authorities warn those with a significant history of allergic reactions should not get that vaccine.
40,000 people plus participated in evaluating this vaccine, and only rarely did they see any kind of allergic reaction. So this is not a major concern.
Once authorized in the United States, it will only take days for the first Americans to get the vaccine. Then,
20 million people should get vaccinated in just the next several weeks.
As the government works towards the most massive vaccination effort in a century.
We expect that in the second quarter of next year, we'd have enough vaccine for all Americans that want it.
Health experts hope Americans believe the science.
We must build the trust in American people. We must make them understand that the science that went into this, that the oversight that went into this is gold standard. We just want to make sure that everybody gets this vaccine because we got to get our lives back.
In Washington, I'm Nadia Romero.
Nadia, thank you. The latest notable person to test positive for COVID-19 is Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf, who says he's now isolating at his home. Chautauqua County Sheriff is giving an update about the COVID-19 outbreak at the county jail. Sheriff Jim Quattrone tells us out of the 126 inmates tested, an additional 27 are confirmed to have the virus. Additionally, he says 33 staff were tested and results indicate 3 of them are positive. Last week, 26 inmates and a corrections officer tested positive for the virus after an inmate began to show symptoms. The facility was locked down and those who tested positive are being quarantined. The sheriff's office continues to work with the New York State Commission of Corrections and the Chautauqua County Health Department to control the outbreak. We thank you for joining us for WNY News Now as we get a check of all that's happening here in the local community. We appreciate you tuning to us for your choice for local news. Let's check in with the comments and say hello to Michael, Sandy, Dave, Barbara, and Lori. Good afternoon to all of you. Thanks so much for tuning in. Good to see Joseph, Charlie, and Butch as well. Well, now let's get a check of our first defense weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter joins us live with that. And Dakota, it looks like a pretty dark and dreary day out there so far anyways.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the clouds have really kind of won out the morning and especially early this afternoon, but hold on, there could be a few peaks of sunshine later this afternoon. Live look over Warren just shows you that 38 degrees and the winds relatively light. So when the winds are light, we don't have that gosh darn wind chill index that, of course, that we dealt with yesterday. First defense Doppler radar, we could look at the sweep line all day long, and it will pretty much show you the exact same thing. Nada, zilch, nothing. And so that's at least some good news. We're not going to have any precipitation to deal with today. And temperatures are a little bit warmer. We're starting to warm up a little bit. So that's the good news. 36 here in town right now, 40 in Mayville, 36 Clymer, 42 Fredonia. Good afternoon to you. 43 in Dunkirk, 43 also in Harbor Creek, 38 Randolph, and 34 over in Olean. Cooler spot once again is going to be the hills and the valleys once again in the inland areas, especially in Cattaraugus County. There is no snow at all on the ground at the airport, nothing. And we've had 4 inches of snow this month. We should be at 6.4 inches for the month, still at 6.5 inches for the month here for the season. That's down 8.5 inches to where we should be. So if you like the snow, if you don't like it, well, that's good for you. 34 degrees was the high yesterday. 33 is where we started the day. Temperatures really didn't dip off too much overnight. 62 is the record high for this day set back in 1939. That's Three Stooges era right there. And 6 below zero back in 1989 broke the record low. So through the afternoon, a good amount of clouds. There will be a few odd breaks of sunshine, possibly later in the day towards sunset. A bit milder and not as breezy. 37 to 43 with a south wind averaging about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow is going to be another nice day, but we're still keeping our eyes on the weekend with that storm system that could move to our northwest. We'll tell you what we know. And could we see the northern lights tonight? We'll tell you about it in a few. Justin, back to you.
Fingers crossed, Dakota. That would be a pretty cool sight. Thank you. Well, some state lawmakers are calling on the governor to hold off in raising the state's minimum wage in an effort to help businesses who are already struggling due to COVID-19's financial impacts. State Republicans, including local Senator George Borrello, say raising the wage would have a negative impact on small and medium-sized businesses who are already having trouble in keeping their doors open. The group is asking Governor Cuomo to pause the increase, which is slated to take effect on December 31. The wage would rise to $12.50 from $11.80 everywhere outside of New York City, Long Island, and Westchester County. That 70 cents an hour raise will mean an extra $28 a week in the paycheck of many who are working a full-time job, who are paid minimum wage. Well, Republican and Democrat lawmakers are trying to come to a deal on the next coronavirus relief package in Washington. But for now, the proposal doesn't include another stimulus payment like the ones that were sent to millions of Americans earlier this year. Our John Lawrence tells us where those negotiations are at.
There's still a stalemate on a stimulus package, and the clock is ticking.
People's eyes are fixed on Congress. They need the House and the Senate to stop chasing our tails and make a law.
A bipartisan group of lawmakers has proposed a deal that includes giving the unemployed $300 more a week for 16 weeks, $300 billion in aid for small businesses, and a continued pause on federal student loan payments through the end of April. The plan doesn't include stimulus checks.
We need a large, bold program to stimulate the economy, help people out of the conditions they're in, but keep the economy going for a long period of time.
Congress is trying to get a bill passed soon because aid programs that were approved in March, including jobless assistance measures and eviction protections, expire before the end of the year.
We're not going home until we do get one. How can you face the people back home that have lost their unemployment check, that have lost their food assistance, they've lost their shelter, all the necessities of life that we take for granted?
Sticking points include state and local aid and liability protection for employers.
This need not be rocket science. But we can't do a thing unless the Democrats decide they actually want to make a law.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
John, thank you. Yesterday, the House passed a short-term funding bill that moves the deadline of a government shutdown to December 18th, buying more time for pandemic relief negotiations. The stopgap bill now heads to the Senate, where it's expected to pass. Well, straight ahead here, the latest on a high-speed chase here in Jamestown. And later, we tell you about a new scam that's targeting those in the local area who like to shop for pets online. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
Happy holidays from WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. A city of Jamestown man is facing charges after police say he was busted driving 71 miles per hour in parts of the city of Jamestown while allegedly drunk. New York State Police report 44-year-old Hushan Leeper fled officers who attempted to stop him on North Main Street yesterday. Troopers say he fled down several city streets before police were able to get him to stop on West 9th Street. They say Leeper was taken into custody following a brief struggle with officers. Now at the state police barracks, troopers say Leeper provided a breath sample of 0.21%, more than twice the legal limit. He's charged with aggravated DWI, third-degree unlawful fleeing a police officer while in a motor vehicle, and resisting arrest. He's scheduled to appear in Jamestown City Court next month. And a Jamestown man convicted of drug trafficking was sentenced yesterday in a Buffalo courtroom. The U.S. Attorney's Office tells us 28-year-old Earl Stone Jr., a.k.a. UWAP, will serve 32 years in prison after he was convicted of possession with intent to distribute crack cocaine. Stone was arrested with another parolee, Shaquille Coleman, in January 2019 for violating their parole. Prosecutors say both were located in the upstairs bedroom of a house on West 7th Street here in Jamestown. Stone had what appeared to be floor insulation from the attic all over his clothing. So police searched the attic and they found suspected crack cocaine. A digital scale with white residue and 3 cell phones were also seized. President-elect Joe Biden continues to build out his cabinet as he prepares for his time in the White House, but his latest pick for defense secretary might have a difficult time getting confirmed. Meanwhile, federal authorities are now actively investigating the business dealings of his son, Hunter Biden, that according to a person with knowledge of the probe. Camila Burnell has the latest on the transition and the reaction to the investigation.
President-elect Joe Biden hoping to convince lawmakers to confirm retired Army General Lloyd Austin as the next defense secretary.
I know this man. I know his respect for our Constitution.
But in order to get him confirmed, Congress would have to waive the requirement that the position be filled by someone who has been out of active duty military service for at least 7 years.
I would not be asking for this exception if I did not believe this moment in our history didn't call for it.
If confirmed, he would make history as the first black Secretary of Defense.
I come to this role, this new role, as a civilian leader, with military experience to be sure.
But not all Democrats are on board. Austin is the first nominee to encounter resistance from senators in the incoming president's own party, mainly due to questions of the waiver.
I haven't talked to my colleagues yet about that. I want to hear what they have to say.
Meanwhile, the transition also acknowledging that federal authorities are actively investigating Hunter Biden's business dealings in China. In a statement, Hunter Biden saying that these matters will demonstrate that he handled his affairs legally and appropriately. President-elect Joe Biden is not implicated in the matter. I'm Camila Burnell reporting.
Camila, thank you. President-elect Biden's defense secretary nominee, retired Army General Lloyd Austin, will begin meeting with lawmakers early next week as his confirmation process kicks off, a source familiar with the plan says. The conversations are expected to be conducted virtually. Well, raise your glass to one of the world's most popular alcoholic beverages because today is National Lager Day. National Lager Day is celebrated every year on December 10th. Now, there's no particular reason for the date, but who needs a reason to drink, right? The cold conditioning process used to make lagers distinguishes it from other beers. Now, in appearance, lagers can be pale, amber, or even somewhat dark. However, they're generally lighter brews, often described as crispy and refreshing. So grab yourself a pint and pour yourself some liquid pleasure. And remember, drink responsibly, please. Thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. Maybe you're celebrating right now at 12 in the afternoon. They say it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? Good to see Vicky. Good to see Bobby, Lisa, Gary, and Sandy. Thanks so much for joining us. We hope you all have a great day, too. Good afternoon to Dave, Wallace, and Tori as well. Hello to our friend Joseph tuning in. We appreciate all of you tuning in every day and getting a check of your local news and weather that matters to you. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, I hope he's got lager in that thermos.
It's 5 o'clock over in the weather office.
Yeah, it is. Just turn the clocks forward, man. But we never know what Dakota's drinking, ever. I always hear you in here with your cup, and your cup looks like it's seen better days. Just to say.
It's whiskey.
Whiskey?
No, just kidding.
And with your coffee this morning.
It's ginger ale, actually.
Ginger. Oh, that's a good one. And yeah. Dakota, your dad surprised us today.
Yes.
He came into work with you, And he dropped off some delicious goods, and I hear
Yes.
some of them, speaking of alcohol, actually have a little concoction. What do you have there?
Yes, one of them, and I'm not sure which one it is. I don't cook, nor do I bake. So, my dad does all this stuff. But one of these cookies in here actually has a lot of alcohol in them. So
I guess we'll just see which staff
I guess we'll just give them a try
and
and just see which one it is.
leave them out in the newsroom.
Yeah.
So with COVID, we were talking about that.
Peanut butter cookies.
We're like, can we
I'll eat
leave
those ones.
cookies out in the break room? Can we do that? And our management said it's okay. We just, don't breathe all over them. So.
Right.
But I guess
that's why I ate this cookie, because I touched it.
I hope, exactly. I hope cookies are immune to COVID, nevertheless. I don't know. They say it doesn't spread by food, so we should be good. It looks delicious, though, let me tell you.
My dad makes all these cookies from scratch. I mean, literally from scratch. No box, no nothing. Wow. He makes everything from scratch.
He's absolutely incredible. And so thank you, Mr. Hunter, for
and I've said it before on this show. My dad is an excellent cook, an excellent baker. My grandmother was an excellent cook, an excellent baker. And my idea of cooking is a microwave.
You didn't get the genes.
Go figure.
Darn.
Let's take a look at Links 1. And hey, here's a sign of the times. Holiday Valley, they are open today. 6 to 28 inches is their bases right now with a machine groomed surface. Cockaigne opens on Saturday, and I know a lot of people have been looking forward to Cockaigne opening for the past several years, and they are finally going to open for this winter season. Nobody else has announced opening dates yet, but we're going to keep an eye on that as we go throughout the winter season. Hey, something we teased earlier, the possibility of seeing the Northern Lights here tonight. Now, I think the best chance is mainly going to be tonight here with partly cloudy skies. So let's talk about this here. So the Northern Lights here, how do you like this new graphic? I mean, the whole weather team was here working on this for quite a while this morning. But basically what was going on here is that the Northern Lights actually occurred because of solar storms that occur up in space. Yes, there is weather in space. They're called space storms, and it actually has to do with the geomagnetics of the Earth's poles. So what's going on here is that we have a geomagnetic storm watch that is issued for space, and the forecast intensity is a G3. That's a strong level storm, and the best chance for seeing it, and when we get into these G3, G4s, we often sometimes see the Northern Lights down here because they can get so intense they can sometimes seep down into the northern U.S. here. So if you want to take a look at this, if you can, I'm not guaranteeing we're going to see it, but if any chance, you need to get away from city lights and look towards Canada. Whatever direction you're looking, you got to look towards Canada and low on the horizon and look for these things low in the sky. And if you get a picture of them or a video, please send them our way. Because Justin, ready for this? It's weather porn. That's exactly what this is. If you've ever seen the Northern Lights, it is mesmerizing. They are fantastic. And I would love to see them one day. I'm going to see if I can get out tonight and possibly see if I can see that. 36 degrees right now as a noon hour, a variable wind of 3. Who cares kind of wind? That means we don't have that darn wind chill index that we're going to have to contend with today. So that's the good news. So it's going to feel like the air temperature. Satellite and radar composite, you can see we've had those clouds across the morning, but notice how the clouds are starting to lift a little bit to the north. This is why we think later in the afternoon we actually may see a few peaks of sunshine later in the day. This storm system over New Mexico, this is going to become the next thing that we're talking about over the weekend. We've been hinting about this all week long. It doesn't really look impressive now, but it's going to move across the Midwest and through the upper Great Lakes. So let's show that to you here on Future Scan. This is one of the longer range computer models, so nothing is set in stone yet when it comes to the weekend right now. But again, this is going into Saturday. It looks like the better chance of rain on Saturday is going to be in the afternoon. The morning should be mainly dry. Notice the colder air to the north. We're missing out on that. This could likely be a heavy snowstorm up here to the north of this particular storm, but we're going to be on the warmer side of it. So it's going to be mild on Saturday and Sunday. Then a cold front moves through as the storm moves out into Nova Scotia and up into Canada. We're actually going to see a cold front move through, and we may see a few lake effect potato flakes either Monday or Tuesday. Rainfall not looking all that impressive here. We may see about 1/4 of an inch, maybe upwards of 1/2 inch of rainfall through the day on Saturday going all the way through early Sunday. So the zone forecast, the inland sun areas today, a little bit warmer. And the good news is the wind is down, so we're not going to have a wind chill index. So dress for numbers like the air temperature, not colder because of the wind. How about the future? Next 7 days coming up right now, brought to you by 42 degrees and sunny, 49 tomorrow, and Saturday, 48, a better chance of rain in the afternoon. Sunday, the temperature falls. 43 will be our early morning high. We'll likely fall into the lower 30s by the afternoon. And Monday, just downright cold, 31. Still cold on Tuesday, 32. And there could be a chance for a few scattered snowflakes on Wednesday. Temperatures still holding out into the lower 30s. We'll take a break. Be right back. First Defense Weather is sponsored by 42 Degrees and Sunny, smokin' deals on smoking accessories. Learn more at 42degreesandsunny.com. That's 42degreesandsunny.com.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Not tomorrow, but right now on the WNY News Now mobile app. Follow local news as it happens.
The mother of a special education student at Maple Grove High School is speaking out.
And stay informed with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network.
And Lake Erie is covered in less than 1% of ice as this winter season has entered its peak.
Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
Happy holidays from WNY News Now.
Well, a surge in pet scams during the pandemic is triggering a nationwide warning now from the Better Business Bureau. In today's Consumer Watch, Mandy Gaither explains and has 3 tips for anyone looking to buy a furry friend online this holiday season.
We're going to have a great time at our house.
Amid an unprecedented demand for furry friends during the COVID-19 pandemic, the number of people falling victim to online pet scams is also soaring. Scammers taking advantage of people stuck at home feeling lonely and isolated. According to the Better Business Bureau, the number of reported pet scams has more than doubled during the shutdown. In the past 12 months, victims are estimated to have lost more than $3 million. That's more than 6 times greater than the total losses reported 3 years ago. That's triggering the BBB to issue a warning for people buying kittens and puppies from breeders online. The BBB says by the end of November, it had received nearly 4,000 scam reports, with many victims saying they sent money but never got the pet they paid for. Months into the pandemic, many states experienced huge surges in animal adoptions. And with demand being so great in some shelters, many people were forced to look for pets online.
My whole family's home from the COVID, so yeah, they have extra attention.
I was jumping for joy. I was so excited. And pretty much couldn't sleep at all yesterday.
If you're looking to buy online, the BBB has 3 recommendations. Number 1, see the pet in person before paying any money. 2, use tactics like reverse image searches and compare prices. And 3, look for animal shelters online that still have fur babies for adoption. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Mandy, thank you. And you know, right here locally, the Chautauqua County Humane Society has a great digital presence where you can check out the list of available furry friends who are looking for a good home. All you got to do to get the process rolling is start an application online. For more, visit chqhumane.org. Certainly a great way to give back to a lot of amazing animals, and you never know who you'll find there at the shelter. Well, we thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I wanted to bring Dakota back in here another moment in case anyone missed it, to look at the northern lights here in western New York. I think I'm going to try to do this too tonight, Dakota, to go out and see if I can find maybe like a high hilltop somewhere so I can go look. Is that a good spot, you think?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Best thing is you want to be away from the city light. So you want to be out in the country. Rural country works best. And so it's mainly going to be tonight. If you can get a chance to get out, I'm not guaranteeing we're going to see it here, but we might have a shot here. And the best thing is you got to look towards Canada. Your phone has a built-in compass, by the way. So use your compass, look towards Canada and low on the horizon. And if you see those things in the sky, it's actually ice crystals that hang low in the sky. And now, of course, because of the solar storm that's going on up in space, it actually causes some really nice things with the solar storms. So, Justin, if you can get a chance, see if you can see that.
Yeah, certainly it's pretty cool. Thanks for
and
sharing
all those
that
words.
with us. Amid everything. So that's it for us today. We'll leave you with a live look over downtown Jimmytown. We're back tomorrow with our TGIF edition. We'll see you then.